Welcome to another video lecture in the fundamentals of accounting. Okay, this time we'll discuss the fundamental business model. Okay, so we have here figure 2.1, the fundamental business model. Okay, as you can see, we have here arrows, no? Yeah. So basically, this is a flow of resources from the shareholders or from the owners. Okay, and so down to how those cash will be utilized to generate revenue. Yan. And those revenue will be considered as a return. Okay, a return after deducting the necessary costs and expenses. Ayan. So first is we have here shareholders. Of course, the shareholders will provide capital. No, it's the shareholders or the banks or shareholders in the banks. Okay, so if a capital, okay, is provided by a shareholder, then that is considered what, or that will be reflected in the owner's equity section of the balance sheet. While if a capital naman is provided by the banks, then it will reflect, no, in the liability section or the long term, specifically the long term or non-current liability section of the balance sheet. So this capital, let's say it's a cash, okay, will be used to purchase fixed assets and of course to pay the staff, no, the employees and other utilities. Ayan. And these fixed assets and the staffs and employees, okay, they will be used, or these assets will be used to generate or produce goods and services. Of course, these goods and services, it has cost, diba? When you purchase products to be sold, those inventories, you have to buy those inventories, those goods, right? And after buying it, you have to pay, of course, money, no? You need to purchase those goods, okay? And the amount paid to purchase those goods that you will sell later on, okay, the money that is paid again is the cost of that products or goods, okay, or inventory. Ayan. So, when you now, or these products will now be converted into revenue as well as services. Ayan. So, revenues, of course, this revenue, of course, this will come from customers. Okay, you sell products to customers, you earn revenue. Okay, you recognize revenue. Ayan. Of course, after deducting necessary expenses from revenue, you now have number 5, the return. Okay, so it's just a cycle. Of course, the return, the interest will be paid to the creditors, for example, the banks, and dividends naman, part of the return will be distributed as dividend to shareholders. Okay? So next is we have here the forms of business organization. Ayan. So we have sole proprietorship. So the first type or form of business organization is sole proprietorship. So this business organization has a single owner called the proprietor, who generally is also the manager. So basically, isa lang yung owner, no, ng sole proprietorship business. Wala siyang ka-partner, wala siyang ka-share sa profit, wala siyang ka-share sa burden kapag may loss. So basically, isa lang yung partner, isa lang yung owner. At yung owner, siya na din yung, usually, siya na din yung manager. Okay? Siya na din yung manager. Ayan. The next one is partnership. Okay? This is the next, the second form of business organization. Now, a partnership, ito yung business owned and operated by 2 or more persons who binds themselves to contribute money, property, or industry to a common fund with the intention of dividing profits among themselves. So, itong partnership, okay, so kung yung sole proprietorship, isa lang yung owner, sa partnership naman ay at least 2. Okay, 2. At least dalawa ang owners, no? Ang tawag sa mga owners ay partner. Okay, so pwede siya 2 or more. So basically, pwede siya 10, no? Pwede 20, pwede din 30, and so on. Okay? They bind themselves. So they enter into a contract. Partnership is a contract, no? So they bind themselves by entering into a contract to contribute money, property, or industry. So basically, Pwede sila mag-contribute ng money, pwede mag-contribute sila ng property or non-cash assets or services, no, to a common fund. So they will pull those assets together, and of course, they will use those assets to produce goods and services. And of course, with an intention of dividing the profits among themselves. So basically, pag may profit dito sa partnership business, hindi lang isang tao yung makikinabang. No? So marami ang makikinabang, ang mga partners themselves. Ayan. At the same time, kapag may loss naman, hindi lang isa yung mag-burden or mag-shoulder ng burden. Okay? The partners themselves as well. Ayan. And we have here the third form of business organization is a corporation. So alam natin kung ano itong corporation, no? So a corporation is a business owned by its stockholders. So basically, yung corporation, marami din tong owners. At ang tawag sa mga owners ng corporation ay stockholder. So it is an artificial being created by operation of law, having the right of succession and the powers, attributes, and properties expressly authorized by law or incident to its existence. Ayan. So kapag ikaw, may stock ka sa Jollibee, no, kahit 100 common shares lang yan, no, it means that you are part owner of Jollibee as a corporation. Okay? So it is an artificial being. Bakit? Kasi it is given a juridical personality by the operation of law. Ayan. And it also have the right of succession. So what do you mean by the right of succession? Unlike sole proprietorship na kapag namatay na yung owner, dissolve na agad yung business. Unlike partnership na, for example, may tatlong partner, nag-withdraw yung isang partner or namatay yung isang partner or naging insolvent yung isang partner or nag-retire yung isang partner, madi-dissolve na yung partnership, contract of partnership. But in a corporation, regardless of the come and go, no? So kahit na may mga bagong stockholder, may mga bagong owner, may aalis na mga owner, kasi alam natin na, for example, 'di ba, yung may mga corporations na they list, no, their stocks in the stock market. So it means na moving yung stock nila. Okay, nagche-change yung mga stockholders nila, the number of their stockholders and the volume, no, of their stockholders. Kahit na ganun ang nangyayari sa corporation, hindi siya nadi-dissolve because it has the right of succession. Okay? And the power, so meron siyang powers, attributes, no, and properties na expressly authorized by law or incident to its existence. So may right and may powers din siya, being a juridical person. Ayan. Now, we have here purposes of business organization. So, bakit ba sila nag-form ng business? No, bakit sila nag-organize? Ano bang ibebenta nila? Okay? So, we have here service. Yan. So, there are business organizations that are actually formed because they want to provide or supply services. Okay? So, service. These are companies, no, that perform services for fee. Yan. So, for example, meron kayong cleaning company, no? So, kung meron kayong yung business ninyo is cleaning, it means that you provide cleaning services to your customers. That is a service. Okay? So, barbershop, 'di ba? Barbershop. Hindi naman sila nagpo-produce ng mga goods, hindi naman sila nagbebenta ng mga products, 'di ba? So, barbershops, they sell or they provide services. Salon, ayan. Ano pa ba? For example, law firm, 'di ba? So, law firms, those are businesses that actually provide service, legal services to their client. Okay? So, the next one is merchandising. So, a merchandising class is those companies that purchase goods that are ready for sale and then sell those to customers. Ito yung mga company na they buy and sell, no? So, they are engaged into trading. So, yung binebenta nila, binibili nila yon. Okay? Bumibili sila ng inventory or ng goods, ng products. Tapos, kapag binenta na nila yon, hindi na nila yon pinoprocess. Okay? Kung bumili sila ng papel, ng ballpen, Yan na din yung ibenta nila ballpen, hindi na nila pinaprocess. Okay, nag-a-add na lang sila ng profit. Okay? So that's a merchandising businesses, no? Next is manufacturing naman. So from the term itself, manufacture, these are companies that buy raw materials, convert them into products, and sell the products to other companies or to final consumers. So ito na, manufacturing, they process, they transform materials into finished products. Bumibili sila ng raw materials. Okay? Together with labor and overhead, tinatransform nila ito into finished products. So, iba na yung binenta nila is iba na sa binili nila. Okay? For example, they manufacture cabinets. Siyempre, they have to buy uh, kahoy, di ba? And plywoods, no? So, binibili nila yon. Okay? Yung mga nails, varnish, paints, and all, no? So, kapag binili nila yon, that's the raw materials. Pinaprocess nila, kina-convert nila into finished products, which is actually the cabinet. Those are, that is an example of a manufacturing business. Okay? Ayan. Okay, so on May 23, 2008, RA number 9501 was signed into law by President Arroyo. This law seeks to address problems facing MSMEs, particularly the lack of capital and access of credit. Under the law, banks and lending institutions are now required to allocate at least 10% of their loan portfolio to MSMEs, broken down as follows: 8% to micro and small enterprises and 2% to medium enterprises. So actually ang MSME, it means micro, okay? M is micro, small naman yung S, and M is medium enterprises. And the old law provided only for a total of 8%. So according to the National Economic and Development Agency, ito ng mga MSMEs natin, they are the backbone of our economy. That in case of crisis, in case of economic recession, our MSMEs will provide a stimulus that will help our economy to recover. So kaya sabi ni President Arroyo na kailangan natin alagaan at tutukan, no, yung ating mga SMEs. We need to incentivize or to assist them, no, para easy, or we need to open the market, the financial and credit market for them para meron silang pangkapital. So kaya ni-require ng batas, signed again by President Arroyo, na itong mga banks and lending institutions dapat 10% at least, no, hindi pwede bababa, at least 10% of their loan portfolio. For example, ang isang lending company, meron siyang fund fund for that is intended for loans, let's say 100 million, dapat 10% nun, at least 10% ay ipapaloan dapat sa mga MSMEs. And may breakdown, no? Ayan, so may breakdown siya dito. 8% daw to micro and small enterprises and 2% naman for medium enterprises. Para again, meron silang access to capital. Okay? So pag may capital sila, may pang may pang bili sila ng goods, may pang supply sila ng services. And as a result, syempre, magkaka-income sila. Pag magkaka-income sila, they will pay taxes. Pagbabayad sila ng tax, syempre, magkaka-income yung government natin. Of course, pag malaki yung capital nila ng mga MSMEs, they can hire now more employees, so they will generate jobs. So, ganun lang yun. Okay? Yan. Okay. So, micro enterprises, we have to qualify muna what can be called or what are classified as micro, or how can a business be called as micro, small, and medium enterprises. So we have here, no, okay, so micro enterprises are those with assets before financing of 3 million or less and employ not more than 9 workers. So, para maging micro enterprises ang isang business, dapat yung financing nila or So dapat yung assets nila, yung assets before financing. Okay, meaning before borrowing money from outside creditors, dapat 3 million daw or less. At dapat yung mga employees nila hindi tataas sa 9. Okay? Now, for small enterprises naman, are those with assets, again, before borrowings from outside creditors, na yung dapat again yung assets nila ay above 3 million to 15 million. So more than 3 million but less than more than 3 million but not more than 15 million. And dapat yung employees nila should be 10 to 99 workers, no? For medium enterprises naman, they have assets, again, before borrowings, above 15 million to 100 million. So, dapat, yung assets nila, again, is more than 15 million but not more than 100 million. And, dapat yung employees nila ay 100 to 199 workers. Okay? Yan. So, yan yung qualification for micro, small, and medium enterprises. Yan. Next is we have activities in business organization. So what are the different activities in a business ba? Una, we have financing activities. When you say financing activities, organizations require financial resources to obtain. Of course, hindi nila kaya na, or they need financial resources, di ba? They need cash. Okay, they need properties to operate. Okay? Now, other resources used to produce goods and services also. And primary source of financing for most businesses are owners and creditors. So basically, yung magpo-provide ng mga needed financial resources ng mga organizations for them to operate, for them to be able to produce goods and services, ang nagpo-provide nun ay ang owners and creditors. Okay? Ayan. Now, so those are financing activities, no? So for example, nag-invest si owner. Okay, that's a financing activity. O kulang daw yung capital ng business, o nanghiram sa bangko, nanghiram sa mga lending institutions. O still, financing activities 'yon. Okay? Next naman ay investing activities. So what do you mean by investing activities? So managers use capital from financing activities to acquire other resources used in the transformation process. So itong investing activities, ito actually yung when you buy non-current assets. Okay, pag bumibili ka ng non-current asset, nagbebenta ka ng mga non-current asset mo, those are investing activities. For example, bumili ka ng factory. Bumili ang business ng factory equipments, machineries. Okay, bumili ng land para pagtayuan ng factory building. Okay, bumili ng office space. O, diba? Those activities are investing activities because it is necessary or needed siya for the business to be able to to produce goods and services. Okay? So those are investing activities. Okay? For example, meron siyang land pero binenta niya. Investing activity pa rin 'yon, no? Ayan. Meron siyang machinery, binenta niya. Kasi gusto niya bumili ng bago. Yung binenta niya na machinery, investing activity pa rin yun. Okay? Now, lastly is operating activities. Involves the use of resources to design, produce, distribute, and market goods and services. Okay? So, itong operating activities, ito na yung mga activities ng business. In such a way na or that includes or that involves buying and selling or supply of goods and services. So basically, ito na yung kapag meron na siyang financing, meron na siyang enough financial resources, meron na siya na pinrovide ng owners and creditors, meron na siyang assets, non-current asset to produce goods and services. It can now what? The business can now operate. So pwede na siya mag-operate, pwede na siya bumili ng mga inventories, raw materials. Yung mga raw materials, i-transform na niya using the assets, the machineries and equipment na binili niya under investing activities. Okay, so those are operating activities. Okay? Ayan. Okay, so again, itong operating activities, ito yung when the business performs its, performs its purpose. No, kung ano ba yung purpose niya, service activity, o perform siya ng ng supply of services. That is an operating activity. If its purpose is to buy and sell, which is a merchandising type of, business, o bumili siya ng magbili na siya ng mga inventories. No, magbili siya ng inventory, tapos ibenta niya yung mga inventories na yun. Oh, that's an operating activity. Kapag yung purpose naman niya is to manufacture, no, to manufacture finished products, o bumili siya ng mga raw materials, i-convert niya into finished products. Those are operating activities. Okay? Ayan. So, those are the three types of business activities. Again, financing activities, investing activities, operating activities. Ayan. Next, we have here the accounting function. So, it is the art of recording, classifying, and summarizing in a significant manner, and in terms of money, transactions, and events, which are in part at least of financial character, and interpreting the results thereof. Ayan. So, I think and I believe I have already discussed this one in our previous meeting. Okay, the definition of accounting provided by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountant. Ayan. So it is an information system, no, that measures, process, and communicates financial information about an identifiable economic entity. So basically, it is a system, okay, where information is being captured, being recorded, being processed, and communicated. So accounting, the function of accounting is that of being an information system. Okay? So, identifying of transactions. Okay, you have to analyze whether those transactions are actually economic or financial in character. Okay, and then you measure the value of that transaction. Okay, and then you process the said information, and you analyze the result, no, and then you communicate the result, okay, which is actually in called accounting reports. You communicate it to decision makers for them to be able to make an informed decision. Yan. So that is the accounting function. Next is you have your phases of accounting. So what are the different phases of accounting ba? Una, we have, of course, before the effects of transactions can be recorded, they must be measured. Okay, so dapat, alam mo, the value, what is the value of a transaction ba? O when you sell goods, that is a transaction, but you need to measure the value of that transaction. How much is the value of, what is the value of the goods that you sell? Okay, that's the measuring phase, no? Next is classifying and summarizing phase. So to be useful in making decisions, the recorded data must be classified and summarized. When you say classify, dapat you have to sort, no? So ito na yung sorting of transactions. Kung itong transactions na to, does it affect sales? Does it affect the revenue or sales? O, sa income statement. O, if it affects sales, o, ilagay mo siya sa sales na classification. Does it affect the cash in our balance sheet? O if it affects cash, o ilagay mo siya sa cash na classification. O kapag hindi naman siya, for example, yung sales ay hindi naman siya cash sale. What if the sale is that of a credit sale? O kapag credit sale yan siya, o you have to classify it in accounts receivable or as an accounts receivable. Kasi kapag nagbenta ka tapos inutang naman ng customer, o that's not a cash sale, it does not affect cash. For now, it only affects accounts receivable and sales. So, ilagay mo siya sa accounts receivable classification sa balance sheet mo. Okay? And summarize. So, magkano ba lahat yung total sales? May sales ka January 1, may sales ka January 20, may sales ka February until December. You summarize, magkano ba yung total sales natin? Based on each classification. Oh, cash classification, you summarize magkano yung total transactions involving cash, inflows and outflows. Accounts receivable, compute mo magkano lahat in an accounting period, magkano lahat yung sales on account at magkano yung mga nabayaran na out from those accounts. Okay? So that's summarize, no? Phase, okay? Summarizing phase of accounting. Next, of course, after going through the preceding phases, it is imperative that the results of the summarization phase be interpreted and analyzed. So to evaluate the liquidity, profitability, and solvency of the business organization. So after na, okay, na-record mo na siya, na-classify, na-measure mo na siya, okay, na-classify mo na siya, na-summarize mo na siya, you now have to analyze. Magkano ba yung profit natin? Did we earn profit or did we incur loss during this year? Magkano na lang cash natin? Baka ang laki na ng utang natin. Baka wala na tayo pang bayad. Baka bankrupt na tayo. Baka mas malaki na yung liability natin kaysa sa ating asset. So, bankrupt tayo. Okay? So, you need to analyze. Kasi that's the purpose Bakit mo siya sinamarize? Kasi you need to analyze. Kasi you need to communicate. You need to tell the owners what's going on with their business. You need to tell the creditors that you are worthy, no, na pahiramin ng pera. Okay? Ayan, you need to tell employees that they have security in their tenure na hindi sila mawawalan ng trabaho in the next or so years. Okay? That's the analysis phase of accounting. Ayan. Okay, next is, we have here the Pacioli's double entry bookkeeping. Okay, so diba, Luca Pacioli or Fra Luca Pacioli is the father of double entry bookkeeping. And accordingly also that the double entry system was one of the greatest discovery of human intellect, okay, in human history, no? Ayan, so grabe yung impact ng double entry bookkeeping. Okay, so a double entry accounting system states that for every debit, okay, that's not debit dare, should give there exists a debit haber or should have or should receive. So when you say debit dare, kapag meron ka daw binigay, meron ka ding debit habere, debit habere. Meron ka daw ding na-receive or should have, no? For example, kung meron kang binigay na pera, or hindi bigay, for example, kung nagpahiram ka ng pera, meaning nagpalabas o nagbigay ka ng pera, meron ka ring na-receive. Ano yung na-receive mo? Collectible. Okay, meron ka accounts receivable to that person. For example, pinahiram mo yung friend mo ng pera. Friend, pahiram ng 10,000. O sige friend, I have money here available. Hiramin mo muna to. O nagbigay ka ng pera. Not necessarily bigay na bigay, ano, hindi na babayaran. Okay? So, lending is also giving. Okay? Should give. O ano naman yung in return na receive mo? Accounts receivable. Meaning, naka-receive ka ng receivable from that person na in the future, kailangan niyang bayaran yung hiniram niya. Okay? Ayan. Hindi in a double entry bookkeeping, that's the sense. Na kapag may binigay ka, may nare-receive ka din dapat. Hindi pwedeng wala. Okay? That's the discovery of Fra Luca Pacioli, no? The double entry bookkeeping. Ayan. Next is Pacioli introduced the 3 books kept by business. Okay? We have here the memorandum, the book where all transactions are recorded. So lahat ng transactions naka-record daw dito. This is based on Pacioli, ha. Next naman is the journal. So it is a merchant's private book. Okay? And then we have the ledger. A ledger naman is an alphabetical listing of all businesses, accounts, along with the running balance of each account. So itong ledger kasi class, ito yung accounts with their running balance. Okay? So for example, accounts receivable ledger. O makikita mo sa ledger na yun kung magkano na ba yung balance sa accounts receivable, running balance ng accounts receivable mo. Okay? Yung cash mo, may ledger yan siya. Makikita mo doon yung flow ng cash mo. Inflows and outflows, no? So makikita mo rin yung from time to time, magkano ba yung balance every time na may movement sa cash. Sa cash ledger, makikita mo kung ano na yung balance niya. Okay? So that's the ledger. That's memorandum, journal, and ledger. Ayan. Next is we have financial accounting, no? So financial accounting which is concerned with the supply of information to the owners of the entity. So actually, the result of financial accounting or financial accounting actually is its purpose actually is to prepare, no, to prepare or to record transactions, to analyze those transactions and prepare financial reports to owners. So, kaya meron tayong financial statements. Yun yung financial reports na babasahin ng owners kung ano nang nangyayari sa business nila. Okay? Management accounting naman, which is concerned with the supply of information to the managers of the entity. Itong financial accounting and management accounting, actually, itong financial accounting kasi, this can be used by, meron kasi tinatawag na general purpose financial statement. Still, a product of financial accounting. No? Okay, so ang financial accounting kasi, itong mga financial statements na pinuproduce niya, pwede kasi itong maging basis or pwede kasi itong ibigay, okay, a copy of which pwede kasi ibigay sa mga hindi owners. For example, creditors, okay, potential investors, di ba? So may basis sila, titingin sila sa financial statement mo, yung mga investors, kung i-invest ba sila sa business mo or hindi. That's financial accounting. That's the product of financial accounting. But for management, again, financial accounting, both external and pwede siya for internal users and external users. While management accounting naman is only for internal users. So, sino-sino ba yung internal users? Managers. Okay? So, iba-iba yung report na kailangan ng management accounting. So, pwede siya qualitative reports, pwede siya quantitative reports. Depende kung ano yung kailangan nila. Kasi from those management reports, from those reports furnished by management accounting, they will actually base their decision with regards to how should they, they manage, no, the business currently and in the future. Ano ba yung gagawin nila? Ano ba yung steps na gagawin nila to improve more the services, to properly or efficiently and effectively utilize the resources of the organization to make it profitable, no, in the future. That's management accounting. Okay? Ayan. Okay, so we are now in the different career opportunities, okay, of accountants. Okay? So accountants may engage in any of the following areas of competence. Ayan. So una, we have here for public practice, commerce and industry, government services, and the education or academe. So basically, ito yung 4 areas where an accountant can actually have a career opportunities. Ayan. So isa-isahin natin yan. Now, kapag nag-public practice ang isang accountant, this opportunity for a CPA can practice accountancy individually or as member of public accounting firms. So basically, pwede actually yung accountant no mag-practice alone. Okay, magtayo siya ng bookkeeping firm. Okay, magtayo siya ng tax consultancy firm. Pwede din ang accountant magtayo ng auditing firm. Or pwede din siya mismo as an accountant, especially for beginners. Okay, kapag kakagraduate mo pa lang, you cannot actually build an audit firm, a tax firm. So kailangan ka munang accredited by the BOA or by the Board of Accountants. And before you can be accredited or before bigyan ka ng license ng BOA to operate your business, you need to have an experience in that field. So kaya dapat magtrabaho ka muna, no? You can actually work in audit firms. Let's say nagtrabaho ka sa SGV and Company. Okay, a very prominent audit firm or accounting firm in the Philippines, no? KPMG. Ayan. So, pwede din magtrabaho ka sa mga management consultancy firms, no? Or sa mga tax consulting firms. Ayan. So that's that's the first career opportunity of an accountant in public. Okay? So kapag may experience ka na and you want to have your own business, or you can now apply for a permit from the BOA. Okay? Na-allow ka to practice in public as a CPA. Ayan. Next is sa commerce and industry naman, an opportunity that a CPA can be an employee of the company that the position requires that the person is a professional accountant. So kapag professional accountant ka na, pwede ka rin mag-apply sa mga private companies, no, mga businesses. So pwede ka nila maging CFO, okay, or Chief Financial Officer. Pwede ka nila gawing General Accountant. Pwede ka nila gawing Controller. Okay? So that's commerce and industry. Yeah. So basically, professional accountant ka sa private entities, corporations, yan. For government services naman, opportunities of a CPA as an employee of the government where the position should be handled by a certified public accountant based on the Civil Service Commission policy and regulations. So again, government service or government accountant, accountant ka sa government, accountant ka sa BIR, examiner ka sa BIR, state auditor ka sa COA, okay, pwede ka rin accountant ka sa municipalities, no? Provinces, provincial capital, ayan, sa city, or sa national government. Okay? And the last one is education or academe. So, opportunity of a CPA that will use their skills, abilities, talents, and knowledge in molding the future CPAs in the colleges and universities. So, accounting teacher, trabaho sa college at saka sa universities to teach accounting to future CPAs. Now, we have here branches of accounting, no? So, we have auditing, bookkeeping, bookkeeping, costing, cost accounting, financial accounting, management accounting, taxation, and government accounting. Now, for auditing, an external audit examination that ensures the fairness and reliability of the reports that management submits to users outside business. So, auditing, it's actually a branch of accounting, no, where audit reports or the product of an auditing is actually an audit report. Okay? So, tinitest lang actually ng auditing yung fairness. No, ini-ensure na yung that the financial statement is actually fair and reliable. Before sa i-issue sa public, dapat audited siya. When you say audited, dapat insured that ini-insure siya through audit process na yung financial statement na piniprepare ng management actually adheres to relevant Philippine Financial Reporting Standards or Philippine Accounting Standards. Okay? Ayan. Next is bookkeeping naman. No? So bookkeeping, it is a mechanical task involving the collection of basic financial data. So nagbo-bookkeep ka lang, nire-record mo yung mga transactions, what are the transactions that transpired during the period. Okay? So basic financial data. Kino-collect siya at nire-record. Now for cost bookkeeping, costing, cost accounting, it is the recording of cost data in books of accounts. So from the term itself, cost, nire-record mo, binubookkeep mo, ina-account mo ng accountant yung mga cost ng, let's say, products, ng services, ng isang business. Okay? At nire-record siya sa books of account, of course. Okay? Next naman, we have here financial accounting. Discussed to kanina, no? But it focused on recording transactions and periodic preparation of reports. So the end product of financial accounting is the financial reports, the financial statements. Ayan. And here, the financial management, it is responsible for setting financial objectives, making plans, obtaining finance, safeguarding the financial resources of the entity. So basically, ito yung branch ng accounting that deals with how to manage financial resources of an entity. Paano ba natin efficiently and effectively ma-utilize yung financial resources natin? Ano ba yung gawin natin dito? Paano ba natin ito sa i-invest? How should we use these assets, these financial assets? Ibili ba natin lahat ng inventory or ilimit natin yung pagbili natin ng inventory? At the rest, pwede natin siyang i-invest. Okay? Or yung accounts receivable natin, i-collectahin ba natin lahat or mag-interest ba tayo or whatsoever. Okay? So, yun yung focus ng financial management para mas maging proper at saka effective and efficient yung financial resources ng organization. Kasi this is very crucial, no? Okay? So, alam naman natin that financial resources are very limited. So, dapat proper yung pagka-manage sa mga financial resources na yan. Okay? Ayan. Next is we have management accounting. So discuss na din ito. No? So it incorporates all types of financial and non-financial information from wide range of sources. So management accounting, of course, we have here management accountants. They deal with providing reports, financial and non-financial, to managers. And those reports produced by management accounting will be used by managers and the management, of course, in uh, their decision-making process. Ayan. Another is taxation. So taxation is the preparation of tax returns and the consideration of tax consequences of proposed business transactions or alternative courses of action. So basically, itong taxation, ito lang yung preparation no, of financial statements that is relevant to our tax laws. Of course, para malaman natin kung ano ba yung obligation ng isang business to the government. Magkano ba dapat yung babayaran niya ng tax? Okay? Ayan. That's taxation. And we have here branches of accounting. We have government accounting, no? Okay, so government which identification, no, it's concerned with the identification of the sources and uses of resources consistent with the provision of city, municipality, provincial, or national laws. Siyempre, meron tayong different accounting processes or iba yung accounting process natin sa government. Okay? Kaysa sa mga private entities. No? So government, meron tayong mga batas that will have to be followed, okay, will have to be followed by government offices in accounting for their funds, no? For their funds, how should they be used? How should they be accounted? How should they be recorded and reported? Okay, that's government accounting, and that's it. Okay, yun yung last branch of accounting that is being introduced. Okay, in this unit learning. Okay, so that ends our video lecture for this time. Okay, so see you, okay, virtually to our next video lecture. Peace.